But there's nothing federal about it. In 1913, a group of private bankers met in secret and took control of America's money. They print money from nothing, then loan it to the government with interest. Meanwhile, we drown in debt, inflation, and rising costs, all to pay back the money they created out of thin air. Even presidents warned us. If the people ever allow private banks to control the currency, they will lose everything. This isn't a government. It's a financial trap. But now we see who's really pulling the strings. You're watching The Lie They Sold the World, Episode 9.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give our praises to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Akakadash, the learners unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salute to you, Akim, pushing this word in sincerity and truth, your brother back at you with another one, holding it at the fine. Right, and this is to show you that, you know, the great depth that America is in, and it's bringing a great oppression upon the people. And soon they're gonna basically go further into what? Into depth, and they're gonna try to come in with the solution, and it's all gonna lead back to the great prophecy of the MOTB, right? Because the people they began to riot, they began to lash out, to speak on it, because the people start really mourning. You know, just here it is, the bill being passed that by Trump, via Trump. You know, they're getting rid of Medicaid and a lot of these, you know, federal checks and things that people used to receive, the grants and whatnot to aid the poor. You know, Trump, through the Doge, is getting rid of all these things. And also, he cut the tax cuts so that more money would flow into the rich pocket, but the poor now, they would be in a more situation, because hey, America is laden with that thick debt, and we'll go into it in the scripture, because the people they seeing everything is being uncovered with Babylon, that it's all is not the you know, America, the great America, and where your dreams and wishes gonna come true. Here's hell. There is hell. A low condition, especially unto you Israelites. You know, I'll play this video from the Hopeful Elect tree. You know, doing a little response. Yeah, Yapa video the brother does bring out. You know, for you to fire up, you know, in the spirit.
America too. I hate America's system. I know y'all hear this all the time, but I'm so tired of paying bills. I'm tired of going to work every day. I'm tired of talking to people. I'm tired of the school system. I'm tired of capitalism. I'm tired of racism. This economy, fake food that they be feeding us. I'm tired of us having to pay for things that God gave us for free. America has just been poisoned. It's just poisoned. And as much as I don't want to say this, I know what's going to come with the exchange from the dollar over to cryptocurrency, or even just, you know, the change that's going to happen. I'm not excited about what's going to come with that. It's going to be death. It's going to be war. It's going to be violence, pestilence. It's going to be all of that stuff that happens. But I'm ready for the change. I'm ready. I'm as ready as I can be for this system to just fall. It just completely crumble. Please crumble, so we can move on. I'm ready to go to the next phase.
Yeah, and hey, we know all Everyone has a spirit. Right, going back to Joel, you know, the Lord going and put, basically um the sons and daughters are gonna be prophesying, they're gonna dream dreams and see visions and all these things, because there is a vibration in the air, and especially how the prophets started coming out here pushing this word. Everyone's starting to wake up, because the Lord is basically uncovering, all the knowledge in the earth has been increasing. This right here, Habakkuk 2:14. It says, "For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge and the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea." Because here it is, pursuant to the Isaiah 62, the men of the Lord set up watchmen who will not hold the peace day nor night until Jerusalem becomes a praise. And through the Spirit, the elders and apostles on down, they have been hitting at every angle, and through the Lord's mouth, the prophets, this man system is being exposed, all his plans, because Amos, the 3rd chapter and 7th verse, he surely revealed his secrets unto the servants, the prophets. So all that they are hiding in the dark, the Lord is making it known. There is nothing hid in secret that wouldn't be revealed. Everything, because this man, Habakkuk 2:12, "Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity." Because to acquire the amount of lands and all these states they own, it was through what? Mass murder, war, like for instance, the Wall Street, like for instance, the how they had gotten the lands from the so-called Native Americans, because this man, Habakkuk 2 and verse 5, he also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keep it at home. That is why they continuously be in the affairs, as we just, you see it. They themselves is in a position of a great debts, trillions of dollars, but yet they want to aid other people's country with millions of dollars, which is foolishness, because the Lord put in a perverse spirit in Egypt, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations and heap it unto him all people. She mentioned about what? That change is coming, a great change. She mentioned the cryptocurrency, but that is not done there, right? Because the cashless system is gonna go straight into everything being digitalized, and Trump recently passed a bill, and it was going into reverencing and bringing in more use of these basically like to say the cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin, that digital setup, because soon they are moving fast. The prophecies are coming quickly. The Lord causing that proverb to cease upon the land, because in the vibration, everyone is getting the vibration that it's gonna have war, it's gonna have great uproars, pestilence, because the prophets have been out here, and this is the warnings, this is the judgments, being made known unto the people via the prophets. Let's say, "But gather it unto him all nations, and heap it unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increases that which is not his?" Because Trump came back with the inspiration of make America great again. And you see, he have been taking a lot of actions and whatnot, but that is not going to help. The book of Jeremiah, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. And this is it here now. The people is feeling the little heat being turned on, because rent's getting more high, the food is getting more expensive, the water bill, the electricity, the heat, all these things, and your job, you're not getting a higher, a raise in your salary, A lot of them complaining, you know, that they work 4 or 5 jobs and they're still not able to pay the rent and be able to cover all the bills. They're just in debt and in debt and in debt, right? Micah 2 and 2. Micah 2 is here, arise and depart. This is not your rest, Jacob. Right. I will get after it. Say, shall not all these take up a parable against him? A taunting proverb, and say, woe unto him that increases that which is not his. How long unto him that laddeth himself with thick clay? And this is to show how the seer is referring to Babylon of now, because when you go into the interliner for that thick clay, going into that depth. Habakkuk 2 and 6. Right.
Strong's H 5671. Avteet.
Yeah, it's a weight of pledge, heavy depths. Because going back to the first video I just played on TikTok, you know, it mentioned about America, you know, these secret, you know, bankers, they set up the dollar and they borrowed heavily, and there's a great interest that they ought to pay upon it, right? And yeah, America system, it haven't been getting better. They are more going into in depth, where it is the people they actually feeling the heavy load upon the shoulders. It's a Strong's, it's a something pledged, pour on the goods, thick clay, you know. And this is how this is the importance of going into the words to get the full understanding. And that is the spirit and the vibration of the elders and apostles of Great Millstone Push. You know, going into the words to get a better understanding of what's taking place, right, in the scriptures, right? Yeah, she just mentioned how tough it is, and the fed up part of Haggai 1 and 6, and it's all about to get worse. Ye have sown much and bring in little. He eat, but ye have not enough. He drink, but ye are not filled with drink. He clothe you, but there is not warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag of holes. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. Because yeah, you came to Babylon not for, you know, not to have a nice time, you know. But the elect is going to be delivered out of Babylon, because the devil is about to come down with great wrath. The rulers of the world, the same ones that they owe, is going to bring in the enforcement of, you know, unrighteous decrees. And you're seeing them gradually being rolled out by Trump, you know. Look at the ICE operation taking out a lot of people, you know, the so-called immigrants. And yeah, a lot of Americans have been taken up as well, you know. They no longer even asking you for your identification and whatnot. They're just grabbing you up. Because what? The devil coming down with great wrath. And hey, you, Jake, is going to be a major target, right? Hey, the Lord had to bring that precept. In the book of Ezekiel 12, he really calls it a proverb to cease. Right? Ezekiel 12:23, verse 22. It says, Son of man, what is that proverb ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? Yeah, because when you talk about the Bible and the prophecies, a lot of them, they say this is not going on happening over time, and they're going on done dead and gone. But hey, what's happening? The people crying out. When the righteous, I'll get it after. When the wicked is in authority, the people mourn. Tell them, therefore, thus saith the Lord, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. For there shall no more be any vain vision or flattering divination within the house of Israel. And the Lord is making it plain. He turning up that heat up on them. You know? He turning that heat up. Right? Because hey, what's coming? What I just recently saw, you know, some country was going full digital. Hey, they even pushing that down here in Trinidad, you know, bringing in that age of the digitalized system, right? Because yes, as you see, it had a little forerunner with the ticket system, right? You know, you have entire inspection on the vehicle and all these things, because this is just what is just great oppression upon the poor man, right? This is just great oppression upon the poor man. The Lord is about to turn it up. Jeremiah 50 and 6. 50 and 7. I'll start at 5. For thus said the Lord power, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Because these people, they ain't hearing the people them crying out about everything is good in Babylon. It's all, they're making enough money, they can't pay the rent, they're seeing all these things happening, and they know nothing good is going to come out of it. Actually now and see whether that a man travail a child, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins? As a woman in travail and faces are turned into paleness, because a man is supposed to represent strength, you know, a rock of defense. But hey, what the Lord has pronounced and have for the people through his sword, which is the wicked, you know, martial law, you know, a man trying to enter into a city and not being able to. All this that he have pronounced and planned, famines, pestilences. Hey, man is gonna turn bitches in that day. Alas, for that day is great soul, none like it is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right? There's the book of Isaiah, fishes. Ecclesiastes 9 and 12, it say, for man knoweth not his time, as the fishes are taken in an evil net. Because what the man mentioned was, hey, this whole system is a trap. As the fishes are taken in an evil net, as the birds are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time when it falleth suddenly upon them. Because more and more the people is starting to see the vision of what's really happening. Right? More and more the people seeing that, hey, they are just servants, they are just servitudes. You know, and this man here is about to bring that great mark upon them. Right? That great branding. You know? And what? There's gonna be some that is gonna look to, you know, seek into the system, and they're gonna be what? In shame. Isaiah 30 and 1. Woe to the rebellious houses, say the Lord, and take counsel, but not of me, and cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. And walk to go down in Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Because that is going to end up too, it's going to bring shame unto you. Because this system may have nothing promised good for you. This system wants you work until you're 50, 60, and by that time you have cancer, you have diabetes, because the poison in the air, the poison in the food, the poison in the water, what they're providing for your clothing, it's all things to mess you up. Your toothpaste, it's all things to mess you up and destroy you. Because the scripture says, devil, he's carried out a diligent search. Isaiah 36 and 6, lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed. No way you could expect things to get better in Babylon. Whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. And that is where it's going to come down to. That RFID microchip. So in Pharaoh, so is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. So you all voted for Trump, and look at the actions that he's making. He's basically against you. You know? And it's gonna be so. Right? Because the Lord is turning it upon this place. Right? I went off in this precept in the book of Micah 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart. This is not your rest. Because it is polluted, and the eyes beginning to see. It shall destroy you even with his sore destruction. Now, physicists are defined, all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and the apostles. I give millstone. Salute unto you, Hakim. Shalom.